date, so be quick and take advantage of my 30-day money-back guarantee.
Oh, I'm feeling younger already. Please thank the wonderful Kennerlye.
Thank you.
Well, they might look cute, but these littlies and their red noses represent a heartbreaking tragedy. Red Nose Day has helped save 10,000 lives over the last 30 years, but sadly, 3,000 babies still die without rhyme or reason every single year. So there's still a lot more work to do. And joining us now, we have Amanda and Mali Hopkins-Davies and Professor Craig Pennell from the Hunter Medical Research Institute and the Uni of Newcastle. Good morning to you all. Mali, you wrote a very brave story for school about losing your baby brother Riley when he was just 8 months old. Tell us a little bit about that.
So when I was at school, I got told by one of my teachers that I needed to come up to the office. So when I sat down, I was sat in the psychologist's room for quite a while. I then ended up being taken to the deputy's office, where I find my mum and my papa Phil sitting in there crying. And then the first thing I thought was, what happened to Nana Bet? Because she wasn't there. So then what happened was, I turned to Mum and go, what happened? She then turns to me and goes, Riley's dead. And it was quite a really hard day for me. So we ended up then all going to my neighbour Bob Phil's house because we didn't want to go back home.
Sure.
There was police and everything there. All my aunties, all my mum's sisters, all came to Dubbo and they all supported us through that night.
Oh, wow. And when that happened, I imagine you asked how, why?
Yeah.
And the thing about SIDS is often there's no answer to that, Amanda, is there?
No, it's unknown. And in Riley's case, it's unexplained SIDS. So something that we'd really love is answers to what happened to our little boy. He was abundantly healthy, he was happy, he was perfectly fine, and then just gone in an instant. So to have answers would be great.
How did you cope with looking after your other two children? I feel stupid with this nose. Will I take it off?
Yeah, we'll put it on. We'll put it on a bit later.
How did you cope?
It was hard. It was hard, but I really think having the other kids is what got us through. My husband actually said to me, we can fall into a really big hole and we'll never get out.
Yep.
Or we can make sure that the rest of our world doesn't fall apart.
Right.
And that's what we did. It's been tough, yeah.
Absolutely.
Day by day.
Professor, it's, you know, over 31 years this year, Red Nose Day. We've just heard answers, unexplained SIDS. How has that research been fast-forwarded in the last several years? Because I can say I actually remember the very first Red Nose Day. I was hosting with Mike Gibson in the 80s on Good Morning Australia, and we appeared on the front of the Daily Telegraph with these funny red noses. I've still got the picture, but what can you tell us now that you didn't know then?
So 30 years of research have shown that with good education, you can reduce the rate of sudden unexplained death of infants by 85%. And Red Nose, through its research and education and bereavement support, has played a fundamental role in that happening. But exactly as you said, there are still about 15% of the cases where the cause is completely unknown. And to solve that, there needs to be more research.
But there are some things everybody can do, and we've got them on the screen now.
And this is what you're suggesting, the guidelines, and 85% can be prevented.
Yeah.
So sleep baby on back, stay smoke-free, breastfeed makes a difference.
Absolutely.
If you can. Baby's head and face uncovered. So not much in the cots, the long and short of it, isn't it? Provide a safe sleeping environment and have a safe cot in parents' room.
Yep. So the messages are simple.
Yeah.
And the messages have been incredibly effective. And I'm so proud to be involved with the organisation who's been involved with it.
Yeah. But as you say, there are some people who do all of that.
And it still happens.
And it still happens, as happened here. Mali, you managed to get all of Dubbo on board.
I only managed to be able to do this through the help of my mum and my amazing family with my siblings and my dad, but also through speaking to teachers and to people and just getting the word out there, just being able to have that drive and allowing myself to get out there and ask for help to try and help this wonderful cause that should never have occurred to anybody.
The last one on that list was keep a a cot in the parents' room.
Yes.
So you're suggesting that we keep the babies up until how long sleeping so that you can keep an eye on them, I
So
gather?
ideally, you keep your baby in a cot, a safe cot, in the parents' rooms for as long as you can.
Right,
until
because
they're-
that'd be the opposite of how we're told to bring up our babies, to make them sleep, you know, get them to sleep on their own. So that's interesting to me.
What's the age with...
Certainly, I think if you could aim to get babies to 12 months, that would be great. Maybe 6 may be more realistic. It depends on the family and the environment, but the longer the better, I think, is the message.
And what's the age of risk for SIDS? When can you breathe a sigh of relief and know you've got through the
You've got
danger
through that
zone?
hurdle.
So certainly most cases of SIDS tend to be in the early part of life, whereas there are still sudden unexpected deaths in infancy which can extend over longer periods of time.
And what would you term longer?
Certainly,
Is it 12, 14 months, 16 months?
Certainly, I think by the time you get to 2 years, you can consider that you're in a safe window of time. But I think for the families involved, they almost never feel safe.
No.
How important is this red nose thing? I'm trying to remember who actually invented red nose and why, and I go back 30-odd years. What was it originally about?
So I think it was to raise people's awareness about the condition, because red nose used to be called SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome, but it became clear that there were many other causes of death, and as red nose became more and more successful at reducing the rate of SIDS, they broadened their horizons, and their horizons now are involved with providing bereavement care for anyone who loses a child from the start of pregnancy through to the end of childhood. Because the success of the reduction in the rate of SIDS hasn't been matched in other areas of loss in childhood.
Because the services that people that you can talk to about it, there were none years ago, and now there's all these wonderful people that you share your story with, and you can share your grief. Because
it has helped a lot having organisations like Red Nose. Where we're from, we're quite isolated from a lot of services, so a lot of it's over the phone. But without them, we wouldn't have got through. Very dark days to help me with the kids. That's what got me there.
So the money's raised.
Yeah, the money that's being raised, what exactly is it going to?
So the money essentially goes a third, a third, a third.
Yep.
So a third goes into direct bereavement support, which is for any family for as long as they need.
Yes.
The next third goes into education.
Yep.
And then the last third goes into research.
And what specifically are you researching?
So the research is across the broad spectrum of causes of pregnancy loss, which is stillbirth, and then SIDS, and then other causes of unexpected death in newborns.
It's very important work, and we can all help so much by simply, shall we, ladies, buying one of these.
And get one for your car. I love the car one.
Yeah,
see the cars.
For the whole family. Red Nose Day is tomorrow, Friday the 9th of August. And you can actually help reduce baby deaths to 0 by making a donation online, buying one of these from Big W or other retailers, and just contribute. Go to rednoseday.org.au to find out more. And Amanda, Mali and Professor, thank you so much for sharing your story. Beautiful work. And everyone can chip in and do their best to help. Now, after the break, Barbara Streisand, who never has a red nose, will